Okay, so part 2 of frequently asked questions that we get on all the social medias every time we post something. It seems like they're always about the same, so we wanted to put it in one place here on YouTube. And the last episode, we had about half of them, and this episode, the other half, there'll be chapters on each, so you can fast forward to different answers that you want. And again, we'll have things in the description for you. But so let's start with the next set of questions for that we get on social media all the time.
Sounds good.
Okay, so can I buy it for an investment? Can I get a house there, buy it for investment, turning into an Airbnb? Or can I buy, I've had emails, I want to buy 10. I want to buy 10. Let's flip them and let's do this. Mm-hmm. And I think you say the same thing, is that this is not the place. This is a community. It's not a tourist town.
Right.
Also, it's not a great place to flip something. So yeah, you see houses for 10,000. You're going to put 5 in. So that's 15. Okay. But someone else could buy something for 15 and probably put 2 in, and it's just as nice. So the margin is so thin for that. It's really not. And
I think you would flip in a more populated area.
Yeah.
To get more, especially if you're going to do an Airbnb or something like that, then that's more touristy areas.
I think definitely toward the beach towns. So we're 40 minutes from the beach. If you're 15 from the beach and on, great. That would make complete sense, but not where Mussomeli is. I would hate to think I told someone that and then they're stuck with all these houses, and it's just adding to more vacant houses. So
and you definitely move there to become part of a community and part of their family. And
as much as you do see Mussomeli in the news, that doesn't mean it's a tourist place. Like, you see it a lot, but people are buying and living in communities. So no, it's not for the investment. Okay, then this one, we talked a lot about this when we were here. Is it safe there? 100%. And you had some good points.
I honestly was just talking about that today to some coworkers. Yeah. You walked around at midnight one day, but we walk around late at night because they don't start eating until later, which is lovely because we're going to take a nap in the middle of the day.
Right.
But I mean, the first couple days you're kind of like looking around just because you're in that American mindset. Because I live in a safe neighborhood, so I'm still not. I probably wouldn't walk at 11 o'clock at night around my neighborhood.
Yeah.
But there I would. Like 1 or 2, I was like a couple of days looking around and it's like, okay, this is okay. Like, all right, no, we're good. But after that, never even had a hint of, am I going to be okay? It was completely safe. I mean, everyone.
Well, and you had commented too,
waving to you, or so
you had commented too that it was odd to have to get used to feeling safe,
right?
Because you didn't realize how often you do double check or
right.
You're so aware of your surroundings. I mean, especially particularly for a female, you're so aware of your surroundings, but also little things like, remember when we were at the outdoor pizza, Maximilian Pizza, and there was a husband, wife, and child sitting next to us, and they were going to leave, but they went across the way to say goodbye to a bunch of friends, and she had her purse left there.
Yes,
so
I'm like,
15 minutes, her purse
is just hanging out here by itself. Yep.
Yeah, cell phone, purse, keys, just on the table, and they never looked back to make sure it was there.
Yeah.
And I think they would say, well, why would we? Why wouldn't it be there? Well, because why, which is great. Yeah, it should still be there, but that's not what we're used to. We're used to, if you leave your stuff, it's going to be taken. Totally not the case. And the guy working in the house, he had his wallet. The front door was open while they were doing all the work. His wallet was just sitting there all day long, and he could care less that his wallet was right. And I'm like, shouldn't you? And then remember,
that we're like, what are they doing?
Protect yourself. Put this away. And they're like, what?
Yeah.
And I left the keys in the car that time. I just wasn't even thinking. And I mean, no one took the car.
That was my favorite day, when you couldn't find the car keys. And then I got in the car.
They're in the car. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's the whole mindset of Italians. Like, I think it's just because they all know each other and they all they're not in a hurry for life, and they're not trying to, it's not rush, get this accomplished, to the point where like a lot of the times we'd be driving and we'd be like, oh my gosh, like Americans would be honking their horns, where Italians are like, okay, whatever, we'll wait for whatever's happening right now. So
and that goes to the safety. It's not like a chaotic place. It's a chill place. Yeah. And there's another thing I was thinking about, the safety thing. Oh, people ask too, are you afraid that some squatters will come in your house? And I'm like, you've not met an Italian grandma, because there is no chance that someone's going to be squatting in my house. My neighbors, as soon as we make friends with the neighbors, they're on it, because they remember that day we were home, but we had parked down at the church. So that car wasn't in front of the house, and the painters came in, and my neighbor messaged me right away. So, Laura, there's painters in your house. I'm like, I know, I'm in my house too. But they had just walked in. So it's neighborhood watch, like, to the highest level, because they do not mess around. And when I was talking to the vice mayor too, he said, I asked him about crime and things, and he's like, that's not what we want our reputation for. We want to be known as safe. He's like, something happens within 2 months, if anything happened, they're in jail. Like, that's just what's like, we don't tolerate that. And also, they'll rat people out. Like, they're not gonna, because they don't want that in their community. So
I think people aren't aware of like all the, like, not nuts and bolts, but like, your house is locked down to the point where we were so paranoid that we would lock ourselves out, because we didn't know how we would ever get back in.
I don't know how I'd get back in.
Yeah, like, cut the door down. I don't know, but there's like lock
and I saw the fire department
twist and
I saw the fire department come to let someone in at an office, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be me one day. I just please don't. So I'm very worried about forgetting my key, because
your door
it's like
automatically locks. It's not something. It's not like you have to lock it. It just does.
Most of them automatically lock. So
that's different. And so every time you got a key.
Yeah. All the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So next one is, okay. The agency doesn't answer the phone. The real estate agency. And they don't always answer the phone. And it's because they have, or emails or WhatsApp. And they just get so many calls on like, hi, tell me about your program. I'm like, hey, come here. And so I think that it's really, until they know you're serious. And I guess how to prove that is like, I'm coming September 1st through the 10th. What days available do you have for a tour? Then it's like, you get a reply. I have these days. What days would you like to come? So when you show that intention, instead of, just with our messages, we get like, hi, what's up? Tell me about it. Like, come on, there's so much information on their websites. Study it first. And then when you're serious, then they'll be serious. But it is frustrating, because we're used to realtors just being like, a dog on a bone, like, oh, you want a house in 10 years? Let me follow you around forever until that point. And it's just not that way.
That, and they're a small, again, it's a small community, so it's going to be a small real estate company. So they don't have like cubicles of people answering the phones. It's the one person.
No. It could be a call center for all the calls that they get.
Right. And also in Italy, they typically go on a vacation in August. So everyone, currently
all of August are gone. So
they're out.
Dream on. And then in Mussomeli, there's a festival the first weekend in September. So they won't be back till like the 4th or the 6th of September because of that. So it is. And I get it. And it's so frustrating. And I took it very personally. But when I said, hey, I'm coming these dates, I got my ticket, hopefully. And then all of a sudden I was responded to right away. But I didn't think that she liked me until like after I bought the second house, probably. It just felt, I'm like, I know I'm bugging these people. I really felt that way. Yeah, I know. But now, and they are very nice. And then when I saw her on the street, she was having coffee with her mom, and she's like, come join us. And again, not speaking Italian, but I went, and, but I had no idea. So Yeah, it's really hard to get a hold of them. Can you do one of the tours? Absolutely. They usually do them twice a week. And if you say, again, these are the dates I'm coming, then they'll match you up with the tour. But unfortunately, that's just how it works, because there are enough people present looking for houses that they don't have to answer everything unless they know you're coming.
Yeah.
So, okay. What about air conditioning?
Well, so we had this debate before we even went there.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gonna get air conditioning, right? You're gonna get air conditioning, right?
Right.
She's like, we're not gonna need it. We're not gonna need it. And I'm like Googling.
And just
things
let's
like,
see how the first summer goes.
Oh, my light just
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
So we get there and it's freezing.
Yeah. We're like, no air conditioning.
Yeah.
All June. Nope, we don't need it. Half of July. This is still great. Still great. It was 80 in the day, and at night,
single day.
Yeah, in June. And then July, like 83 during the daytime. At night it would drop. We'd have the windows open. The house stayed cool during the day. It was fine. And then there was a heat wave that made the news, and it was no joke. It was not fun.
Right.
And I was like, okay, now I get air conditioning.
Right.
But it's abnormal, but at the same time, that means I'm going to have it in at least 2 rooms so that we can have that. Because, and then we had fans. When you had the fan on you, it wasn't so bad. But what I did is I purchased a portable one that I know I can put in another room, because I knew I was not about to be able. No, who was going to install an air conditioning during a heat wave? No one. So I bought a portable one, luckily at the beginning of the heat wave, because I looked at the app and it was going like red forever. And it like warning labels and everything. And so later when I went back down to the same store, they were completely out. So I'm glad I got it when I did. And so we had that in one room, and we just kind of stayed in that one room when we were there during the day. The other part that really stunk, though, was because there was still construction going on. So they had all the windows and doors open during the day. So there was no keeping anything cool.
So I feel we didn't get like a true, I mean, it was hot. So yes, air conditioning is good, but we didn't get a true grasp of how cool it could stay if it was cool in the morning. But
if it had stayed traditional temperature, I think we would be fine. But can you get air conditioning? Yes. You can have it
get air conditioning? Yes.
Yes. You can have it attached to your home. So it's like the ones that are down low or the ones that are up high. It could be an air conditioning, heating combination. Also, they have dehumidifier in it as well, component. So they're about $350 per unit. So think about that when you're going to put it in every room. But the more expensive part is the installation. If it's not off a balcony or something like that, that they can stand on the balcony, install it. They have to get that equipment. That's a lift equipment, and rent that for the day, and potentially have to close your street in order to do that. That's more expensive. So yes, you can get air conditioning. Yes, it can be done. Do you need it? I don't know. You definitely don't need it for the whole house at all.
No.
And on some of the houses you see, there's only 2 in the house on the house tours we show. Yeah, there's only a couple in the house. Yeah. And also some people ask about ice. Yes, they have ice. You can ask for ice and you can make ice. So
they ask you, do you want ice? Like in the restaurants, like would you like ice? Yes. So yeah.
That's okay. How do you get there from the airport? So I've done both, renting a car, coming out, and then you tell what you thought about the train, because we came in from the train.
Yeah, I thought the train was great. I mean, it literally is right at the airport. You're not having to take shuttles
on the bottom floor.
Anything. Yeah, you just go to the bottom floor and you just wait for the train to show up. It's the only train that's coming because there's nowhere else to go.
It's the end of the line, and then you take it to Palermo Central, which is also the end of the line. So you do make a few stops in Palermo on the way to Palermo Central, but at end of the line, and there's 5 tracks, would you say, at Palermo Central?
Yeah.
And then you head out to Acquaviva is the station that's at the bottom of the hill from Mussomeli, which is 10-15 minutes. And it was easy breezy. And it's nice, especially after a long flight. You can just veg.
Right. And it's a beautiful scenery. It's not stressful at all. Like, it wasn't, even for it being from an airport, it wasn't packed like sardines. There was plenty of room. No. People were spread out. So
yeah.
Yeah.
The important part though is when you get your ticket, you have to validate it before you get on, because you can get fined for not validating your ticket. So you can get the ticket and validate it, or you can use the app for buying the train ticket, and then that's then you're fine that way. But yeah, the train was so easy. And had we had more time and not been having to be there for construction all the time, we probably would have taken the train for day trips all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But, that didn't work out. So, well, and I think too, what we're going to do is do a one sheet on, these are the Facebook groups you should join or could join. These are the apps you can get. These are the websites you can look at on how to start. So we're putting that together now, and we're making a newsletter so that when you go to our site, theamateursabroad.com, then a pop-up will come, say sign up for our newsletter and get a free sheet. And so that's the best way I can think of to have it for people. And then it'll email it to you. So it's really easy, and it basically gives you the basics to start. And
it's all the
and
links.
from there,
so you don't have to look
all the links
up. Yeah, it's already linked for you.
Yeah. And I get it, because you want to digest everything you can. You want to be there, you want to see it, you want to feel it, you want all the information you can. So these would be all the things that I looked up and what I did before going over there. So
and it's not just the ones that you use, it's the ones that you found the most useful. So you had a wide variety of stuff you used, but some of them weren't as helpful as
and
the
accurate
ones that you
also.
down to.
Yeah. So there's a lot of fluff. So.
Right. You're like, that one didn't help me.
I know. I've heard this before, and this is wrong, So, yeah. So we'll do maybe another episode of this if there's more. But I think that this will probably have to break it in 2 parts because of the length. But this is the most frequently asked questions.
Yep.
So, all right. We'll put some links in the bottom of the description. Also, a link to our website, theamateursabroad.com, and you'll be able to get information there on different things that we've used. Also, the pop-up to the newsletter. And if you're real serious and definitely want to come and would like help finding a house, then there's a tab for consulting. So thanks a lot. And I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but I'm sure it'll be fun.
It will be.
All right. Bye. Thank you.